Fantastic. We're joined today by Kristen Schulz. She is the interim camp director for Calvary Temple. Now, you just returned from quite the trek. For those who haven't heard your story, tell us a little bit about what you did and where you were.
Well, on May 25th, so 2 Saturdays ago, I biked from Winnipeg to Calgary. And I decided to do it as a fundraiser to be able to send all of our camp kids to camp this year at no charge. Um, I just feel like when I look at, like, I have 3 kids in school. When I look at the challenges facing kids today, when I look at just everything that's coming against them, they're facing things that are very, very unique to this generation. Things that I feel we're not prepared as a society to deal with. And it's leading to what some have termed like just an anxious, there's a loneliness epidemic. All these words are being used to describe our kids today. And when I decided to bike, the biking, especially from Winnipeg to Calgary, everyone would always say, you should go to Calgary to Winnipeg because it's downhill and the wind is at your back, and it's very, very true. But I wanted the wind to be in my face. I wanted to experience that, that adversity, so to say, just as a reminder of what our kids are fighting through now, and let that lead me and inform me and how to better lead our camp this year.
So tell us what that experience was like. Did you have the headwinds or were you being pushed from behind? What was it like?
Oh wow, no being pushed. It was all headwind. There was one day where I had a side wind, so um like it was, I think, like 60 kilometers an hour coming right at my side. So that day, just to stay on my bike, I could get speed, but staying on my bike was a challenge because it's blowing you around. But that headwind is wow, like it is. There was one day, I think it was 70 kilometers an hour right in my face. So you're fighting, you're pushing. If you could normally get, I could comfortably bike between 25 and 35 kilometers an hour, and I can sustain that. Those days when that headwind is there, I'm down to 10 kilometers an hour, 8 kilometers an hour. So what would have taken me, 5 or 6 hours is now going to take me between 10 and 12 hours. So mentally, what that does, the fatigue mentally, it's incredibly, in addition to physically. Um, and honestly, so the first hour of my bike every day, I would be praying and just praying for my church, praying for Calvary Temple, praying for our pastors, praying for kids, praying for camp, my family. Um, and there was a lot of times in there, God spoke to me about the wind, about the lessons you learn. Like I can't even begin to explain all the lessons that you learn. Like it's absolutely a life-changing endeavor.
Being out on the road, like you said, you must have had a lot of conversations with God during that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the most impactful part of this journey for you?
You know what? One of the biggest things I would say, there was one day, actually it was the day that I spoke to you last time. I was in Brandon, and the brakes on my bike broke. Oh, I think that had already happened. The brakes on my bike broke. Um, something. Oh, I had a flat tire, and my husband was there, and so he was there behind me the whole time. He drove in our van behind me, providing a buffer between me and me and traffic. Um, and that day, you know what? Honestly, I just thought, when we live in community, when we have people surrounding us, when we have people, not, they can't do the work for us, but when we live in that community, and it just changes everything. We can't do things alone. We need to have people with us. And it was really moving to me, because I felt in that moment, I want to be that for these kids. I want to be, I can't take all the pressures away from them. I can't take the wins and the adversity of life away from them, but I want to be someone. And I feel the church needs to be coming along behind our kids, being, we've got you. You know, I
Mm.
can't do this fight for you, but I'm behind you, and I'm going to act as a buffer for you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to, you know, when you fall down, when you can't do it on your own, I'm going to be there, because they're fighting such an incredible battle, I feel. So that honestly really spoke to me. And there was days that I just, there was one day in particular, I literally just prayed for the entire day, and I let that wind in my face just add urgency to my prayer. And I do feel the church needs to rise up and be like an army behind our kids, saying, we're fighting for you, we've got you. So that was pretty, God just spoke that to me very, very profoundly on the journey.
And that journey was expected to take only 10 days. How
Then
long did it eventually take you, and when did you complete it, and what was it like when you reached that finish point?
12 days. So it took 12 days. Got there by Wednesday. um Completing it was overwhelming. Like, it was like, my sister there with her kids. They met us at the Calgary sign, and I don't know, it was absolutely overwhelming to be like, you're literally fighting every
Mm.
day. And that feeling of satisfaction, that feeling just of thankfulness for this opportunity to be able to do it, to see people behind me again and supporting me prayerfully, and financially supporting the camp in this, that was um, that was pretty incredible. And you know, if I could just say one more thing, another thing that really stood out to me is the last day. Going through my head was just, finish strong. Like, you got to finish strong. And it's so hard to it's so hard to finish. You're just like, I want to be done, I'm so tired. And I had different people messaging me saying they were praying for me and just telling me verses, and which I was so incredibly thankful for. And I felt, though, like, I don't feel strong, I don't feel ready, I just feel tired. And again, it was like God was like, just do it, just go, get up, just, you got to just go and trust that those prayers are going to carry you. Even if you don't feel it, you can't live by how you feel. You got to just go and trust me. And so it's just making a choice. I'm going to go, I'm going to do this. And so that, just because that had happened that morning, getting to that finish line was an absolutely beautiful and overwhelming feeling. Like, I did it. I did this. So,
And it's funny you say that because I saw the video on your Facebook page of you getting off your bike, and I can see you're physically done. Your
yeah.
body looks like you have, been on a 12-day trek from Winnipeg to Calgary. So to see that and to hear what you've said now, put that video together,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. That experience has got to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely amazing. I don't know that I want to do that one again, but I want to do something else like it again.
Well, you had a goal of raising $10,000. What was the final tally?
So on the GoFundMe page, I checked it yesterday, and it was, I think, 8,330. But people have called directly to Calvary Temple, and as of yesterday, we were over $16,000.
That is amazing. So for those who don't know, $16,000, how long or how far will that go when it comes to helping support these kids?
That should allow, I figured out, for 350 kids to each attend a day of camp. So that should, if we look at specifically the days of camp, that should allow for 350 kids to go. If they're rough, I think it was, if we're doing like a, say it costs $50 a day.
That is beautiful. 350 kids, it may seem like nothing, but that's a lot. That will impact and change lives.
Yes, and I believe, like, we're doing things a little differently this year, just for this year. But I believe that God has things in store for our children this year. I believe he is going to just absolutely change lives and set kids free. I'm so excited to be a part of what God is going to do in kids' lives this year.
If people are still interested in helping out, they still want to donate towards this. They want these kids to go to camp. Can they still do that? And if so, how do they go about doing that?
Absolutely. You can, I still have the GoFundMe page set up. So I think I'll have it, I have to, I'm not sure what to do, but I'll take it down by the end of the week. So you can either do it there or else you can call Calvary Temple directly and make a donation. Just when the receptionist answers, you can talk specifically to her.
Fantastic. And what's up next for you? I know you just said, I don't know if I want to do this again, but you want to do
Yeah.
something. Do you have any plans? I know it's you just finished this one
Yeah.
ride, but any future plans?
No, I would actually like to bike across Canada. So I'd like to do from Calgary to the West Coast, I think. So and just take it in chunks. So I feel like that is what I want to do next.
That's fantastic. Thank you again for sharing what you're doing with us and for allowing our listeners to be a part of it.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.